All right.
What's happening, guys? Welcome to the Russell Hant Show. I have the superstar from Big Brother in the house tonight. What's
It is,
happening? What's happening, Kev? How are you, man?
man. It's quite the honor, Russell. I watched Survivor for many years, and it's a hell of a deal.
Yeah. So when you went into the Big Brother house, you was a big fan of Survivor too, or did you ever apply for Survivor?
No, I didn't. I've watched Survivor forever. I watched Mark Burnett even before Survivor. He had Echo Challenge, which was a endurance racing thing, and love that. So I've watched
Uh-huh.
Survivor since the very first season, and yeah, I spent a lot of time thinking that I'd love to be on Survivor itself, but as I aged a little bit and I started watching Big Brother and I enjoyed the strategy that was going on with that and started thinking, well, geez, I think the social game I could probably play and some of the challenges on Survivor seem to be getting a little more physical and
Mhm.
yeah, I would have done either one, but they had the casting hall for Big Brother down here in Houston, and it just seemed like a natural fit at the time.
Right. So how long did it take you? What we're going to do here is we're going to predict what's going to happen in the fourth episode that's coming up tomorrow. But I just was curious on a few little things with you on Big Brother because I'm going to be also uh, doing podcasts and YouTubes on Big Brother this
Yeah,
upcoming season of Big Brother. I think that's going to be exciting, and love to have you as a guest. But
sure.
I was wondering when were you immediately chosen, or did it go through a long process with you?
It was a process. I mean, I never sent in a video. I'd never tried out before. There was just a casting call held down here in Houston in February. Showed up, did my little bit, talked to people and everything else. Next thing you know, there's some phone calls going back and forth, and I didn't actually know for certain I was on the show until they grabbed me. What was that, the middle of June? So you're talking 4 months worth of back and forth without really knowing what's going to happen or not.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah, fairly early in process.
Yeah, I didn't particularly watch that season, but I read a lot about it. And
Yeah.
if the only thing that you're reading a lot right now, we're reading about how the winner, in your opinion, was he a racist guy?
Yeah,
Did he?
no, I don't. Yeah, I don't think so, Russell. But yeah, in a lot of ways, the fans saw more than I did because they were watching the live feeds and all of that.
You're right. Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
and so, it's tough for me to say. I've heard some of the things that supposedly went on, and I didn't see it because I wasn't in the room at the time. So I really hate to comment on it. It
Right.
was, it's a stressful situation when you're sitting there with that camera on you 24 hours a day,
Oh,
and
I can imagine, man. Oh, I know. Trust me, I know already. But the good thing about Survivor is we're able to, and I did it every morning. Most of the time they thought I was looking for an idol, but I'd get up and I'd walk
yeah,
down all the way down the beach, a mile this way, come back, walk all the way down a mile. You're able to get away,
oh yeah.
and
Well,
I would tell production, hey, I'm just walking. You can watch me on the beach line. I'm not doing anything. I'm just walking, trying to take a deep breath here. And they
yeah, well,
sometimes,
and I
you
tried to
can't.
do the same thing. Unfortunately, I didn't have a mile to walk. I had most days about 100 feet to get into.
Right.
So I would get up before everyone else and go into the boat room and just have my own little conversations with the cameras and all that. They almost burned me
Right.
because I got overheard a couple of times, but hey, it worked
Yeah.
out okay. And yeah, but you have to just get away from a while and just get your thoughts in order because otherwise it's just like the pressure cook on either show. So
Right. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and get into episode 4. What's going on right now with Survivor? And Ethan was just voted off.
yeah,
But everybody thinks Adam's in a lot of trouble because he went over there and spilled the beans to Rob, and then Rob went ahead and of course, what else would Rob do but to
sure.
stab Adam in the back, because now he knows he's in trouble, so now he's like, okay, this guy's supposed to be part of your alliance, so he's trying to save Parvati at this point in
Yeah.
time. So
Yeah, Rob's
go
never
ahead.
struck me as the kind that'll ever really back down from anything. I mean, it seems like there's people that Adam maybe could have said that to and bought some trust with them and all of that. But geez, to say that to Rob and think he isn't going to get his hackles up and come right after you seems like a risky move, in my opinion.
And then he told Ethan too. He went up, talked to Ethan too. You know, tried to. I mean, when you're in such a good position, and look, I watched some secret scenes just now, and believe it or not, Michelle's running the show.
I believe it. I think she's in a good position. And I see. I was just gonna say, I see Adam and kind of what he was trying to do, and some of the things I saw in Big Brother House as well, where people are trying to create some relationships with all sides and try to cover your bases. But yeah, there's nothing that stays a secret in these things, and it came back and bit us. Yeah,
I mean that's crazy. So this is the only thing I was thinking, and I said this on my right after the show. The only thing that I think is that Adam thought that Rob was such a villain that his best way is to go ahead and stab one of his own people in the back, because Rob's done that time and time again in his career. So maybe he thought, I'll latch on to Rob and then go from there. But Rob he doesn't have any numbers, so I don't understand the move.
I don't either. It seems like he just burned his bridges with the other side, who thought he was getting a little too fancy. And I understand maybe wanting to get a little bit tighter with Rob, but Rob's never proven that he's going to stay loyal to anyone anyway. So I don't know how much it bought Adam to do it, other than just feeling like he was safe with anyone if it came down to it, and it flipped on him.
Yeah, because it never seemed to me that you go to the worst one of the bunch and you tell him the whole plan, and you don't think it's going to get back to him. It's just and he saved himself. The first episode, he was in trouble because he went off looking for an idol, and he was in trouble, and he saved himself. And then I went and did a whole show saying how he was playing a good game and he's doing a good job. And now it could go quickly from greatness to loser.
I almost feel like that first episode may have burned him a little bit, because he did such a job of putting the focus on Natalie and Jeremy and their previous relationship, and he seemed so successful with that. I wonder if he maybe didn't get a little too confident about his ability to convince anyone and everyone of where they needed to be pointing fingers at, and no one was going to have it this time around.
Right. So, in your opinion, because I'm hearing a lot about maybe, first of all, Robin Parvati's in trouble. Period. That's Michelle's in control of this game, and Jeremy's in control. I just watched the secret scene. If you haven't seen it, you probably could check it out somewhere. But it shows Michelle taking control of everything, and even going to Jeremy and telling Jeremy, "Hey, I want you to do this and do that." I felt that right off the bat that was going down like that. So they're in trouble now. Is there going to be a merge this soon to save Rob?
Yeah, it seems awful early to be merging up, but I don't know. And I haven't seen that secret scene, but I almost see it the same way. I feel like Michelle and Jeremy are tight. Obviously, Rob and Parvati are tight. And then you get the other three, and I don't know if they're the ones that end up at Tribal this week. I don't know which way Ben and Denise and Adam, for that matter, too, which way they go with it. I'm curious, because Jeremy got bequeathed. I don't remember what he got from Natalie. He got the without the power without voting, or safety without power, I think it was.
Right.
That he got gifted from Natalie, and based on that, I gotta think he may wonder what Rob may have gotten from Amber, figuring that she probably sent something his way, just like Natalie sent to Jeremy.
Right.
And if that makes Jeremy a little bit more cautious about going after Rob versus Parvati, or how they approach it.
Right. Well, I watched 2 secret scenes just now, and it makes me think what my pick is going to be, on both sides. I'm going to pick a player on both sides. But when I watched the scene, it was right after right after Ethan goes home, they go to back to Tribal, and then they well, here comes here. Look, look who made it.
I was a little late. Sorry I'm late, guys. Sorry to interrupt, too. I know y'all already talked about Cliff's route. I was listening in the car, so I heard everything y'all have said so far. I just wanted to ask Cliff, first off, say that the Battleback comp, that was the most dominant victory I've ever seen. I watched a lot of reality TV. That was the most dominant victory, man. Do you have experience playing that? Like, have you done that game a lot?
No, other than a kid playing the little maze games with the little wooden boxes that we used to do back in the day. But no, I was caught a little off guard when I got blindsided. And once we got out there, I said, hell no, I was laser focused. I wasn't going out that easy. So I appreciate it. There was about halfway through there when I was doing pretty well. And I thought, well, damn, this isn't even going to be close. And so it was.
So when you saw what the Battleback was, like what the competition was, did you instantly know you were going to win it? Or it wasn't until you started that first ball and you're like, oh, this is easy?
I had confidence that I had full capability to win it. I figured I'd be pretty good. But I got to say, the main thing I was doing was saying, just thank God this isn't holding on or running a race or something else, because like David was out there, he would have kicked my rear end in any kind of really athletic competition. So I at least was happy that it was a competition I felt it was on level ground, that I had a chance to win. So yeah, I was extremely happy it turned out the way it did.
Russell, I'll send you a video of that competition because that was insane, dude. It's insane. But sorry, back to Survivor.
So okay, we were talking about Cody. I mean, talking about Adam there, and Adam is a snitch now all of a sudden. But on the other side, we have the same situation kind of going down. And what I'm seeing Tyson and Sandra going at it. Production is showing us that. So I'm feeling that if they lose a challenge, that those two are going to be fighting head to head.
Yeah, I could see them both fighting for sides, and because they've got Edge of Extinction and they've shown that much on these shows, and because the other side's been to tribal so many times, I don't feel like I've got quite as good a feel of how the sides are falling out over there. I mean, it seems almost like maybe Sandra and Sarah and Tony could work together, but yeah, I don't know. But I think you're right, Russell. I could easily see Sandra and Tyson kind of button heads on that first on the next one.
Oh, what I was saying before Cody came in, what they have a secret scene where Adam is first. Rob comes up and says, "Good move, guys," this and that, and then Parvati he says, "Thanks for saving me," to Adam, almost like a Russell Parvati type. The whole deal with me and her. But he's just not in control. I think he's in trouble now. And then you see each person going to Adam, and Adam's like, "I'm dumb. I'm so stupid. I know it. And you see Michelle going up to him saying, "You see what happens when you do what you do? You're not, now that who's in control of this game." It's like Michelle's being the more aggressor. And then he's apologizing to each one. And I think that's going to help him in the long run. So everybody keeps saying Adam's name, throwing Adam's name under the bus. But I think Adam's okay for now. Cody, do you think merge is about to happen?
Yeah, I think the merge is going to happen. And I think that Adam's in a really, really good position. It didn't work out perfectly when he went to Rob, but it's set up now where Rob's going to have no other choice but to have Adam as his second closest person on that tribe. And then I think Adam can apologize and play dumb, and it actually will make his target smaller, because it's like, it looks like he made a rookie mistake, like a dumb game move. When in reality, I think it's a good game move because it brings him higher on Rob's list, and then it makes the target smaller. Or what if we see it? I think we could see a tribe swap and Tyson and Rob team up to take out Sandra together.
At this point, I wouldn't Rob use the case, hey, you can trust me, you can't trust him, obviously, and I'm the one that told you what went down, so let's get rid of Adam next, because he just, and you keep me for a challenge. You can get rid of me whenever, because Rob is going to use something. He has to use something for, to stay in the game longer here. He's in trouble.
So you're saying Rob go to Jeremy and Michelle with that?
Yeah, and say, let's get rid of Adam. Just one more tribal.
I think his biggest selling point to Jeremy too is to just explain that he's a bigger name and a bigger target than Jeremy. So he'll beat Jeremy's like meat shield type thing. Because
Jeremy, man, it's not Jeremy. Michelle's in control. Go and watch I know
the bonus scene,
secret scene, and you see Michelle going to Jeremy and telling him what to do. Like she's going to each person and telling them what to do.
So is Michelle tighter with Poverty than she is with Rob? Is that kind of the way that falls out?
I don't know. Right now, it doesn't really. Right now, it doesn't look like she's tight. I thought Poverty would align with Michelle eventually. That was my theory from the beginning. But if they merge, I don't know what's going to happen. If they merge this early, then that's not a good thing because everybody's going to think they're trying to save Rob and Poverty. Yeah. I don't think they should.
Wow. And the other thing too, since the other tribe voted out his wife, is anyone going to expect Rob to be willing to work that closely as a tribe? I don't remember how the votes were to send Amber. It seemed like it was pretty much a tribal consensus, wasn't it? If I recall. I just don't know how Rob. I don't know how much of a grudge Rob holds against people on the other tribe, or if he tries to work with them to get some numbers that he doesn't have right now.
Right.
Swap.
Yeah. If they actually merge, I think Sandra is going to come out. Rob's coming after Sandra for sure for getting rid of his wife. He's holding that grudge for sure. Yeah. And Sandra knows it. She knows it. So they're going to be. It'd be a big mess. It'd be if they merge right now. It would be great, but it'd be a big mess. Because then I don't know.
What do you think about the idea of instead of a merge of a swap at this point in time? Just change things up.
I don't really like swaps. I hate swaps because swaps are a way that production can control and hope. Like if it is a swap, if they know right now if Rob's going home, if Poverty's going home, they know. So they say, okay, we're swapping because they know he's going home already.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden he has a shot. And it shouldn't be like that.
There's a lot out of production's control with the swap, though, because it's a random draw when they pull the buffs.
Yeah, but if they know for sure if Rob's heading to the house, you might as well swap him and he has a better chance.
Yeah, I don't know if they could tell for sure because I feel like it's kind of up in the air until like even the van ride to tribal probably.
Yeah.
I don't think they'd be able to tell before the immunity challenge that they would do the swap at because it can kind of shuffle any which way. Like it'd be hard to tell like who would win or who would go home from that tribe if they went back to tribal.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what happened.
Is that a new shirt, Russell?
Van. I think it happened in. Yes, it looks like it's see-through to me. Is it see-through?
It looks like I thought it was green. Dude, I thought it was like shiny chrome. Oh my gosh.
You get a 4D shirt when you buy one from me.
Dude, that's crazy.
I could see right through you, Russell.
Look at my coffee mug.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
That is so weird.
So you get some cool stuff. No, you're not. If you get one, it's really not. It's just green. So it's acting like a green screen.
Oh, okay. All right.
Pretty cool.
That's crazy.
So on the blue tribe, what is their name actually?
Is that the Sele tribe?
This is a guy that he never likes the videos, but he donates $1.99 to tell us he doesn't like the videos every time. But he keeps watching. No, so I think this is my prediction. I think that Rob's going home. I think Rob's going home. If it's a swap, then that prediction goes out the window. But I think it's Rob. Cody, what you think?
Man, I think there's going to be a swap, and I think Rob and Tyson will team up to take out Sandra. And then if there's not a swap and Rob's tribe goes to tribal, I think they'll send it's really hard to say, but I'll go with Denise goes home with that idol in her pocket.
You think they're gonna? But she ain't even mentioned really.
I know, man, but there's been some people go home that haven't been mentioned, like Ethan and Danny before the episode started. You would have never thought them. So
what do you think, Cliff?
I don't think there's going to be a swap this early. I think we got a little more time for that, and I could easily see Rob and Poverty here. I can see Michelle and Jeremy here, and the other three playing the middleman and making it happen. And if that's the case, I think out of fear for what Amber may have gifted to Rob, that you may see Poverty go instead of Rob, just for that reason. But it seems like at this point they still have the votes on the kind of the newbies, that they could split votes between Rob and Poverty, and even if one has the idol, the other one goes home. So
what if the other side wins? What happens then? You think that Tyson and Sandra might team up? I think they're going to be fighting against each other.
I think Sandra seems like a lot like Rob. You don't really put her name out there without her getting quite the grudge and coming after you. Obviously, she said it last week. So I think they're both fighting for the rest of the votes. And in that case, I'll make my prediction first. I think Tyson goes home.
You think Tyson goes home?
I think Sandra may pull in some votes and make it happen.
Man, it could be everyone voted against Tyson. Like, he could probably take 6 out of the 8 votes, I think. But I'll be rooting for him to find a way to stay. So I'd say Sandra goes if that tribe goes to tribal.
Yeah, you would think if there was a swap, like we would see some kind of promo on it, right? Something.
Yeah.
And we haven't seen nothing like that.
Yeah, that's very true.
Because I didn't realize it. Because you see, when you watch those things, you see a lot. Because I just watched the 2 secret scenes that I seen, and I seen Adam apologizing to everybody. So I'm like, okay, Adam's good. I think Adam's good. He's good with his people now, and but they're saying that they're in control. And you see Michelle saying nobody's in control because I'm in control. And then you see Michelle saying, that people think that I can't play this game because the last time I think I'm showing that I can. So I think she's been making the moves. We're just not seeing it in production. And I hate when they do that.
She might be going home if they're hyping her up in the preview like that.
See, I don't even watch a preview anymore. I've gotten burned too many times over the last 40 seasons. I just don't even pay attention to what they show on there.
Those bonus clips are like exact clips from the episode. So there's like 2 or 3 of them. So I would watch them. And then when it came up in the episode, I'd be like, I already saw this little clip. So it's probably best not to watch.
We got a super fan right here. Can you read that, Cliff? Or
I see it. Wicked Ed.
Yeah.
Well, howdy, Wicked Ed, and man, good luck on the casting call. And hey, I'd love to cheer you on next summer.
Yeah, it's people think that it's difficult, and it is. But man, once you grab a hold to that casting member and you get their attention, you can get there.
Yeah. Hey, I tried. That's the first time I'd ever tried out, and here I am. And there ain't anything special about me. So yeah, lightning in a bottle. It's everyone give it a shot.
Cliff, do you know if you're going to the casting calls to I guess interact with fans?
Yeah, I don't know for certain. There's a couple of them here in my part of the world. One over in San Antonio, and then on a Saturday there's one in New Orleans. Okay. And I gotta think being in New Orleans and eating a little crawfish and etouffee may not be a bad way to go. So I don't know. I don't know yet, but I may look into scheduling for San Antonio and or New Orleans and just hang out and cheer some of those folks on. We'll see.
I'm gonna go to the San Antonio one. I'm gonna try to sneak into the Big Brother house this summer. So if you're there, I'll come up to you. I'll say what's up.
Yeah, come grab me. That'd be great.
Give me your 3 people that's playing their best game right now.
Oh, let me look at my list. I bounce every episode. I came into the very first saying that Ben was one of the guys I liked, which goes completely against most people who think that he kind of lucked into it with idols and all of that. But some of the people that are a little bit in the background, like Wendell and Yule on the other side, I think both of them have been quiet enough that I know they're good players and all of that, and yet they haven't really gotten any attention thrown on them. And I think that's probably the best place to be right now. So I maybe say Wendell and Yule, and hell, I may throw in Sarah as well.
Okay.
Oh God.
I don't see Sarah doing much right now. She just got,
Sarah. The one time she got a chance to do something, she wasted her token on a stupid advantage that wasn't even worth it.
And I'm telling those tokens are going to end up by being a big deal. Now, another thing that I've been noticing since day one, that the statues have 2 tokens in their eyes. The immunity statue has 2 tokens in their eyes. Now, there's 2 tokens that you can pop out. Now, when I played, they said that you can't mess with the statues themselves. Yeah. So, but things have changed. They used to tell me that you couldn't use, if I find an idol, I wanted to make a fake idol, I couldn't use the actual clue. We used to have a piece of paper that told you the instructions on how to use the clue. They don't even do that anymore. You don't even get that paper anymore. You just get the clue and the portrait paper. So I wanted to use that and wrap it up in the original paper and tie it, and they said I couldn't use what productions already used. But as time went along, I'm seeing them use things from the torch to make fake idols and this and that, using all kind of different things. So if I'm the only one noticing them tokens in the eyes of that thing, and they can actually use them.
Here's a little thing I saw. Someone had posted that on Twitter, Instagram a while back, and someone came back. I think it may have been Nick that specifically said they were told they could not use those, that they had noticed it but were told they couldn't use it.
Yeah.
And so take it with a grain of salt.
That's what I would
take it with a grain of salt. But
well, they told us that too, and I figure that because they're really good players out there not to see tokens in the eyes of the,
Well,
there's no way that group of people.
I'm laughing. So many idols and these half idols, and there's just a lot of stuff floating around. And over these past few seasons, people have gotten pretty fancy about making some nice looking idols compared to 10 years or so ago when you just had a stick that you were trying to present as an idol. And
would be a good move if Adam says, "Okay, guys, Denise has an idol."
Oh my God!
And then all of a sudden it takes that pressure off of Adam's back, and then it's a good move. I don't know if that way she gets voted out with the idol in her pocket.
Yeah.
That's my prediction, dude. Idea. I already predicted that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's exactly how it'll happen. So I predicted, and then you explained how it'll happen.
How do I think it's going to happen? I think that he ain't going to go to Rob. He's going to go to the boss, and that's Michelle, the godmother. He's going to go to the godmother, and he's going to say, "Hey, I just want to be straight up honest with you now. I apologize for what her and Jeremy maybe at the same time. I apologize for what I just did, and I'm laying it all on the table now. She has an idol." Like she took, like your kids, they took the cookie. That's the one that took the cookie, mama. Just like that.
Oh,
that's totally something he would do too, man. Because he's constantly doing stuff like that. Like he's constantly bringing information to people and just like making moves throughout the game.
Well, he's trying. He's trying to play. But he's playing with people that's making himself. You don't do that with Rob. You just don't go to Rob and make that move.
I really think it worked out. Like it's gonna work out because now he is second on Rob's list Like he's Rob's second closest ally now.
Look at that.
So Adam can be cool with both sides because he did that. So that move worked out still.
Here, become a patron. I'll put it up there for y'all. Bam! You get a see-through cup.
If Adam went home, it would have sucked. But he didn't go home, and he got closer to Rob, which is what it was designed to do. So I think Adam's in like one of the better positions out of that group. And he's had to play hard, dude, because he's gone to tribal like every week except one.
We're seeing a lot of Adam, and to me, he's getting a little bit of course, he made a bad move by telling Rob, but at least he's playing the game. You know, at least he's running around.
How is it a bad move? What bad thing happened because he told Rob?
He snitched on his entire tribe. They were trying to sneak Parvati, and then he went and told his entire tribe. So Ethan went home instead of Parvati. Is that a huge? Does that take Adam down or take Adam back any? No, what his team did.
He's gonna be fine though.
Yeah, I think he is now. But what his team did was they came together and they said, Adam's trying to control this game. He's trying to play both sides. Yeah. We still need Adam. We still need Rob for the physical challenge. We need to start winning challenge. So let's get rid of one of their three, and that's Ethan. So that's why Adam still voted for Parvati, and she was the only one voted for Parvati. The rest of them voted for Ethan. And then Rob and Parvati voted for Adam. So after that, they get to tribal council, and then this ain't been seen yet. You'll see this next week probably. It's the beginning of it. They get to tribal council, and Rob said, hey, good job, guys. You know, y'all got me. And then everybody's scrambling, saying, Adam. And he's like, I know, it's stupid. I shouldn't have did it. I'm sorry. To every single one he's apologizing to. And every single one is going to talk to Adam. Adam, what is wrong with you, man? Why'd you do that? So I think they're trying to get mend some wounds here because they're going to need him.
Well, that's the thing. Adam's got the advantage of they all need that number. So no one can get too upset, at least on the surface. So
yeah, I think Adam is in a better position right now because he told Rob than he would be if he didn't tell Rob. If he didn't tell Rob and just went to tribal quietly and voted out Parvati, I think he'd be in a worse position than he is right now. Because now he's really cool with everyone. He just has to apologize. He made his target smaller, and he's got more people to work with.
I mean, he could work that in his advantage. He could, because he was in trouble. Then he could work that out in his advantage. And I think eventually, I think he heals his wounds. I think he's okay. You know, but that's all we're getting to see is that side of the tribe. Let's talk about one guy I want to talk about because I think he's already been voted off, and that's Nick. Where is Nick? Has he got voted off yet? I mean, did he quit the game?
I don't think he's had a confessional or anything yet, has he? He's been pretty quiet.
Nick yet. Nick ain't getting no love. Who else ain't getting no love? Kim, first episode. Man, I'm kind of ashamed to say this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. I said that Kim was one of the greatest to ever play the game. And then she did that to me. You know, that still though, I think that she gets it together. And I think she gets it together. I don't know what's up with Nick. You don't see Nick much. Sophie, she's acting like she's the devil. You know, Ben, he's playing well at this point. He made a few mistakes. Yeah, Denise has an idol. So maybe they'll use that. Maybe they'll use that against her.
And then Jeremy. They had the split idols between Kim and Sophie. Who actually found it and who gave it to the other one?
Kim gave it to Sophie. Really good. It was a really good strategy play by her because Kim was kind of in the outs with Kim and Tyson, so two people kind of isolated. So Sophie was in a group of 4 with Yule, Wendell, and then one more I'm forgetting. But there's a group of 4 that's Yule. Like the big. Yule, Yule, Wendell, and one more. But I thought it should have gained trust with Sophie, and then they could have formed a relationship. But Sophie just talked a bunch of crap in her confessional about it. I don't know if she was trying to
It was weird.
I think she was just trying to like act like the star on is like for the camera more. It is a little weird.
She called herself the devil. Don't give the idol to the devil.
It's like, come on, man, you're not that relevant.
Like, why did she do that? Why don't she just work with Kim, instead of trying to throw on? So those two idols, I'm really confused about the two idols. Denise gives the idol, half the idol to Adam. Adam gives it back to Denise. It becomes a full idol. Yeah. So Kim has an idol, has an idol. Sophie has Kim gives half to Sophie. So the only way it becomes a full idol if she gives it back to Kim.
I think they said it had to be played together or something, but then I don't know who. Someone has to give it to someone, so you know who's being protected. It would seem like. I don't know.
So there's a good chance that it won't be played unless they're like on the same page about playing it.
Yeah. Somebody just said yes. That's right.
Okay.
Okay. So she gives it back to Sophie. So what if Sophie votes out Kim and then takes control of both sides?
I think Kim would take the half idol in that place, but what if one of them barters their token to get the other half? They're like, hey, I'll give you my token if you give me the half.
Right now, they don't seem like they're taking the tokens. Jeremy said something about the tokens. He's taking it pretty serious, but I guess at this point they should be, but we should be hearing a lot more of them say, like you had Sarah, she's going to regret that. Watch. She should have kept the token.
For votes, stealing a vote or whatever?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to help her. I think that it was fun to watch. We have the...
So you blocked someone's vote, right? That's what she got, to take someone's vote away?
Yeah. Is that what she got to block a vote?
I think so. I think
the
I think
odds...
Yeah, I don't think it's just block. I seem to recall maybe she gets to steal it and.
Oh, so she takes it and vote. So it's like
wrong. I thought that's what it was. Yeah,
that makes sense.
Did she steal the vote?
That could come into play then.
And she used it but once before. I think in her previous, she had a similar power that she used, and I can't remember the situation, but it worked her advantage in that time. Who knows this week or this season?
Steal a vote. Whoo, boy, I'd love to steal a vote. I think if I was playing with Rob. That'd be fun. Be like, no, you don't, boy. That vote's mine. And I'm gonna make
it has to be. They have to be perfectly split. Yeah. So it's like, I guess it's more valuable the less amount of people that are voting. So late in the game, you could probably switch something with it. But I mean, think like if they're voting her out by 2 votes or 3 votes, then it's useless.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna. I wouldn't have I would have. Yes, I would have taken it. Me, Russell Hance would have taken it, but I don't think she should have. I think she should have kept her tokens. I would be thinking, man, I want to keep these tokens. I think these tokens are going to be a big deal. So in my mind, I'd be thinking I'd be selling idols for tokens. Like I would want tokens. If I knew I was safe and I knew somebody had 3 tokens, I'd be like, hey, man, I got an idol. You give me 3 tokens. I'll give you an idol.
Dang, bro.
They showed on the Edge of Extinction today prices, and it seems like I don't remember if you could buy an idol or an advantage or what for 4 tokens.
No, 3 tokens, you buy an idol. 3 tokens, you buy an advantage, both of them. But the thing is, it's hard to say what I would do. Sometimes I'm like, I do this and do that. And I'm sure Cliff knows it's hard to think unless you're in the circumstance to know what else is going on around you. It's almost impossible for me to sit here and say, hey, I'd give an idol away for 3 tokens. But then what happens? Could I do that? Is this part, it's just, I would have to be in the situation because I do a lot of thinking when I'm out there, man. I run the gamut in my head is running, and I'm thinking, okay, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? What's the best move for her? What's the best move for her? Or how is this going to work? I can't stop when I'm out there.
And that old downtime, that old paranoia kicks in, and your thinking goes into hyperdrive at that point.
Oh, I just go out there paranoid. If you just go out there straight paranoid, then nothing changes. You just play like that. Because Rob is playing paranoid, but when has Rob not played that aggressive in his entire Survivor career?
The first season he was on Survivor, he basically didn't play at all.
Right, and then he was
just for some reason people just loved him, and there was like zero strategy. He just got his tribe got picked off one by one, and he happened to be the last person the other tribe picked off.
Are you enjoying this season, or is it just all the hype? Is because they said, it's going to be better than Heroes versus Villains. I don't see that at this point.
You can never top Heroes versus Villains, but it's very good. It's better than like the past, you could say like 5 to 10 seasons, and it'll be better than the next 5 to 10 probably.
What do you think, Cliff, in your opinion?
I'm enjoying it because the typical Survivor season, it takes me 4 or 5 weeks, it seems like, to start getting to know the names. And so those first few evictions are people you don't really care about anyway. It's just whatever. They go away, and that's the end of it. With this, because we know everyone so well and know their strengths and everything, every eviction has been a big one that is kind of like, oh my gosh, Danny maybe was the one that she kind of worked herself into her own eviction, but everyone else, it just means more to me because I know these people. I feel like I've grown up watching them play or seen them over the years. So I've enjoyed it so far in terms of the initial part of a season as compared to most other seasons.
Right. Yeah. Last season, did you watch last season?
Oh yeah. I've never missed an episode of Survivor ever.
I thought it was a tragic performance of production to even bring all that crap into the game of Survivor. I love the purity of Survivor. I don't like I don't talk politics on this show, and that's why I don't like them bringing it into my shows. You know what I mean? And I felt like that they're bringing some sort of political issue into the game. I didn't like it one way or the other. I'm not agreeing either way. I'm not agreeing with anybody.
Well, what are they supposed to do, man? They got to do something.
Yeah, they had to because they kicked him off the show. If they didn't kick him off the show, then I don't think they would have went that route. But since they kicked him off the show, and then Kelly probably made a fuss, but I heard, I'll go ahead and say this, that she didn't make the fuss until she got voted out. I heard that speech you seen her read, when she cried, she was already voted out. Now, if that's the case, it's a little messed up. I'm just saying.
That's the one thing I've learned from being on a reality show myself is I'm not ever going to make too many assumptions about anything having to do with this, because the reality is we don't always know what goes on behind the scenes. And so,
yeah, we don't know when they start playing that game, man, and production starts happening. He could be what they say. He could not be. It's just a big mess. All we can do is read little things here and there. So nobody knows. So it's. I just think because of that, it made it one of the worst seasons. I think because of that, it made it one of the worst seasons in Survivor history, which is a shame.
I can relate to exactly how Cliff put it, where before I went on a show, I thought that I understood everything. And then now that I watch, I understand that you really can't assume anything. And it's kind of tough for me watching Survivor now because I know how much the interviews could be. For example, a big thing is most of these interviews, they might be talking about an event that happened 2 days before. Now, every interview they speak as if it's in the moment. So you might already know how that situation played out. So when you speak in the moment, you're going to act like I might come to Cliff with a proposal to work with me, and then he doesn't work with me. And then when I'm interviewing about it 2 days later, I know that it didn't work out. So I downplay it I don't think he'll work with me, but let's see. When in that moment, I was sure he was going to work with me. type thing. So you can make yourself look more intelligent when you're interviewing once you already know how it plays out. And
Yeah.
I feel like I see that so much in Survivor where I can tell, okay, they already know how this plays out. They probably interviewed 3 days after it had already happened.
Right. Well, production has a handle on everything. Obviously, they're trying to make a show, and I understand that. But you make your own decisions out there. Like, you vote for who you want to vote for. Is it like that in the Big Brother house?
Yeah, and ours is a little bit different because lots of our stuff, because we're so much live and we got the live feeds and it's being broadcast throughout the season. You don't see ahead as much as probably, with y'all, a lot of it already, how the story goes as the editing, I assume, starts getting put together. And that can't be the case with ours because in the beginning, people don't know how it's going to end up. But no, you're right, Russell. We make our own votes, our own strategies. There's nothing. I mean, it's the people in the house that are making those decisions.
When I watch Big Brother, it blows my mind because I'm thinking, do they forget that the camera's not rolling? Like, what is going on here? It just blows my mind that people do and say things when they know they're being recorded 24/7.
You get in there and you get so used to having those cameras on you that there's times where people forget about it.
Man, I didn't forget for a second that there were cameras recording. And Big Brother, my favorite is when I'm watching the feeds and some of the like younger, good-looking recruits are acting like, oh, it's Saturday night, no one's watching. And it's like, no, there's like 10,000 people watching you right now or more. Like they don't even understand how millions of people follow Big Brother each summer until they get out, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I spent a lot of time telling quite a few people that just because it's 3 o'clock on a Sunday morning, you still have people that are documenting and recording every bit of it. And don't think that anything just because you're under the blankets doing whatever doesn't mean they're in the camera on you. So
it's on Twitter. It's on Twitter like instantly.
As soon as it happens, somebody records it and then bam, throws it on Reddit, and then it's a whole thing about it. We've seen the sheets going up and down.
So like what I was describing, it's not really the case with Big Brother. Like you can, I guess, interview about something that happened a couple days before, but like on Stranded is very similar to Survivor, where like 40 days. And like I was doing interviews on day 41 after the show was over that were used in episode 1.
Well, let me tell you what happened.
So to piece together so they can make episode 1.
I don't know if you know this, Cliff, but I played Australian Survivor, their version of Survivor. Well, it wasn't Survivor. But anyway, I didn't do one confession. How I get my information is through confessionals. I hear what they're telling me. I understand it. I try to talk back. That's how I play the game. I try to understand, why'd they ask me that question? And then I'll say something and I try to work production in my favor, the legal way to do it. Well, on Australian Survivor, they didn't do one confessional with me. Not one. All the confessionals I did, I was already out the game.
Oh, wow.
I was like, that's a little messed up, but what can you do? They give you toilets out there.
Yeah, I actually went out of my way to find Survivor Australia and watch it. And then once you were out the door, Russell was like, I don't really care about the rest of it. So,
That's funny.
So we're going to do our official outs. I'll give you 2 on each tribe. And if they merge, then 1 from the whole merge. So you get 2 from Rob's tribe that you think is going to go, 2 from Sandra's tribe, and then let's say if they merge, you get 1 from that. I'll go ahead and say who I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be, I'm going to have to steal Cody's because I think that this is it's solid. It's a solid play, and these are good players. I think Denise could be in trouble because she has that idol and Rob. But if I had to choose one, I think Rob's gone. On the other side, I think it's either Tyson or Sandra. Now, if they merge all together, I think it's going to clash, man. And I think Rob goes home again. So that's mine. What do you think, Cliff?
Yeah, I'll start at the end. If they merge together, I think Rob's going to have too many people going after him from both sides. So I think that's a good pick for the merge. If they don't merge from the DeCall tribe, I think they are. I'm going to say my top pick is Tyson. And if not him, I think Sandra. I think it's one of those two over there.
Yeah.
On the other side, I'll stick with Poverty as my choice for top, and as long as Ben doesn't do anything silly and talk to the wrong people, which he's already shown he may be willing to do it, but he's my guy, so I'm gonna hope that's not the case. And I can go out on a limb, but no, I'll stick with these two. I think that was a good thought with her having that idol.
Okay. Cody?
Okay, so if they merge, which I don't think they will, but just to make the prediction, I think that Rob's producers help Rob's wife find a great, super powerful advantage to gift to Rob. He survives, deflects the vote, and then takes Sandra out. If Sandra's tribe goes,
that'd be nice.
if Sandra's tribe goes, a lot of people have been talking about how great Tony's been doing. Like he's just been like not a threat, whatever. Well, guess what? He hasn't gone to tribal council, so it's pretty easy to like not be a threat when you're not going to tribal council. So I think Tony will go or Sandra. I think Tyson I think Tyson's going to last a long time, so I think he'll survive, even though he is in a bad place. And then if Rob's tribe goes, I'm going to say Denise or Michelle, one of those two.
Yeah, and if it's a tribe swap, then everything's out the window.
Yeah, it's hard to predict in that case.
Yeah.
Everything changes. Who
did you have?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, how many people do y'all think are gonna go edge of extinction before they bring someone back into the game? How many more weeks are we talking about out there?
That's
how many they had the first time? I don't even know the first time.
So the first time they waited too long, and the person that won it came back into he got voted out early, and he came back like when there was only a couple people left. So I think they'll learn from that. Yeah, Dr. Phil, shout out to Dr. Phil, 6 people remaining. I don't know if he's saying and if that's his prediction, but I think they'll bring him back when there's closer to like 9 or 10. That way, if that person comes back and wins, at least people aren't going to say, oh, well, they just got a free pass to the end. So that's what everyone complained about last time.
Yeah, so they had 2 people who come back the first last season.
Okay.
So 2 people had to try to come back. You ain't going to tell me for 1 second that Natalie's not going to come back, because she is, man, she's a beast out there. She's not only is she the best competitor on that island right now, she has 3. I think she has 3. Does she have 3 tokens?
3 or 4. I wish I knew. I should know.
Well, she has enough for an advantage to get back into the game, because it's 3 to get back into the game.
Okay. So she found one. I thought she had 2, but maybe she's got 3.
And look, again, I said this, and this is what she should do. She should wait, and when she knows she's getting back in that game, she gets her 3 tokens. She'll probably get another one. Get that 4th token. Take them 3 tokens. Use the advantage to get back into the game. But before that, buy a jar of peanut butter with the 4th token and eat that sucker up so you can have energy to do that challenge to get back. So she not only does she have an advantage to get back into the game, she has protein with the carbs to get back into the game.
That's what's up. That's a good idea.
So, it would be a lot of fun watching her with a jar of peanut butter just eating away and everyone looking at her.
Getting ready for that challenge. Like my son, he just ran my son's literally a track star in Texas track, and before the meet, I brought him 2 peanut butter protein bars, and then he won first place in the meet. So I'm like, that's why he won, the protein bars.
How fast did he run the mile?
He ran it in 5:24. He's in the 8th grade.
Wow.
It's pretty good.
That's fast.
He's
That's
killing it. He's killing
I
it.
can't believe it.
He's
Faster than
killing
you,
it.
Russell?
I was
than
pretty
you?
fast back in the day. He ain't beat my time yet, but now he's faster than me. He's way faster than me. But we got it in the blood. We some fighters over here. So I think I think it's a fun season right now. And if a switch happens, it'd be super interesting. I hope they don't do that yet. They can't merge. I mean, they can't merge yet. There's too many people.
And they haven't shown the other tribe, Tyson and Sandra's tribe, enough. I just feel like, other than just a little bit of discussion about the two of them, it's all just been kind of lighthearted, Tony and the ladder and things like that. I want to see more of the drama and the conflicts on that side before they pull them into a merge of any sort.
Yeah, and that the other side loses, man. We got ourselves a little game. The other side loses. They're all acting all friendly right now, but they ain't friendly. They playing right now. So I think you're gonna have the Tyson Sandra thing going crazy on that other side. So I don't know.
That'll be fun to see where people's loyalties lay.
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy it. So anyway, that's really what we wanted to do here. We're gonna do this every prediction. Usually I do the live Wednesday right after the show, but 2 of the weeks it's my son's track meet, and 1 of the week is his district meet. After that, like on the Thursday, I'll let you know, Cody, when it is. It's taped up there. I already forgot. I think Wednesday before next, and then the following Wednesday.
I need to come see it in person and then help you vlog it. I make a vlog. Michael's track meet. He's got to win. If we do that, he's got to win that race. So
I'll tell him, boy, you on national television now. You better run. You better run. Well, no, my advice for him, because it's their 3rd meet. He's been hurt the whole time, and he hasn't ran the mile yet. And these boys are good in 8th grade. It's crazy. And my advice to him, I said, son, go introduce yourself to him tonight. I said, let them know who you are. When you finish, they'll know who you are. And then he killed him by 10 seconds. But he did a good job.
Hey, have you posted the video yet? Post it on Instagram.
I think I did post it on Instagram.
You did. I saw it out there. Yeah, I saw it out there.
Okay, nice. It needs to be seen.
Yeah, I'm gonna get somebody out there with me next time that can record the whole race. Because that boy's he's something. I mean, everybody loves their kids. Everybody's like, oh, my kid has talent, this and that. But man, a 5:24 mile in the 8th grade without even doing anything all his life. He never ran track. He never did PE. He never did anything. He just jumped right into it. First meet ever, first run ever. And he ran a 5:24. So I was pretty excited for him.
Well, here's the deal. On the next one you do, don't face the camera. Well, you can have one camera pointing at your son, but have someone point one at you, because there's nothing more exciting than watching a proud papa. So
I get loud,
sure you were
man.
jumping up and down, Russell.
I'm like, run! Yeah, it gets crazy. It wasn't that exciting this time because he won by 10 seconds, which is a lot in a race. All right, well, Cliff, man, we sure appreciate you coming on the show. Once we start the Big Brother thing, we're gonna have you as a regular.
Come on, I'll give you the scoop. I'll tell you where it's at.
Yeah, Cody was.
Now, thanks for having me on, Russell. I appreciate it, Cody. You too.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, it's good to meet you, man.
You too, and yeah, I'd love to see you over in San Antonio. Maybe we can make that work.
Oh yeah, hey man, don't they have 1 case of the coronavirus up there? Stay in the house.
Dude,
yeah, maybe this is the summer I should have been in the Big Brother house, isolated from everybody else.
Right. So you guys, if y'all haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. Hit the notification button. We're growing. We ain't growing as fast as I want, but still growing. And Cody was late. He won't be late next time.
Hopefully. I'm not for that show.
Look, get some see-through merch. Nobody has it. Nobody has a
see-through merch.
Become a patron. That's what's on the merch. See-through
You
shirt.
just need a whole You need a whole outfit like that, Russell, and then when you go back into Survivor, you can be like Tony. They won't even see.
Oh, I told my son. No, well, I could just go behind the camera. I told my son what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a green suit with just my head, and I'm gonna be just bobbing. So we can do that. So anyway, we appreciate you coming on, man.
My pleasure. Thank you, guys.
I'm excited for the episode tomorrow, and that's just about it. We'll check it out and see who's right. Somebody has to be.
We'll see. We'll see. Be exciting no matter what.
All right, man.
Cheers, guys.
See you later.